scanned, he sees that Stargate, that light already building though for anti-Stargate for anti-carrier forces. That Citadel down, I don't know if he saw that Citadel, but he definitely knows that carriers are on the way. And really, if Light is going to, or sorry, if Lucifer is going to, yeah, there's a fleet beacon now. If Lucifer is going to be able to defend this off, or sorry, successfully do carriers, he needs to hunt out some more expansions. Light realizes that. Looks like he's going to scout that lower right-hand corner and make sure that he hasn't expanded yet. Really, it's risky just to use the 3 expansions and go straight into carriers, especially when you're facing a Terran who already has a decent amount of res out. What I would expect to see from Light, or at least standard behavior, is when you see your opponent going carriers, going up with the forces you have, and just pressing into him. But it looks like Lucifer has a significantly sized Dragoon force, so Light isn't going to be able to shove this into Lucifer's throat. Interestingly enough, it looks like Light is staking out the upper left-hand corner, the 12 o'clock position. He realizes that this is a heavy resource build, so he's just trying to put things into place to make sure that he sees if an expansion is going up, and he'll be able to take them down if he needs to. Now, I've said on many occasions that this is a very it's Protoss favored just because of the map artifacts and the carriers, and I've said I'd like to see that Goliaths, I don't feel, are very effective against carriers. Now, I don't mean that they're entirely ineffective. What I mean to say is that it's difficult. There's definitely X factors, as there always is in games of Brood War. Really, Light is doing what he needs to do right now, and he's planting mines everywhere. If you're gonna beat carriers, you need to have some sort of something that extends your visible range, because you need your Goliaths to be able to fire as long as possible, even across the ramp artifacts, so they don't have fog of war going up and down the ramps. Really, the other major X factor, dropship getting intercepted by Dragoons right there by Light, that's going to be a totally nulled drop. In the meantime, I guess I should say, yeah, carriers very quickly coming out for Lucifer, but really there's a couple of X factors. One, if Lucifer is going to be successful with carriers, he needs he needs Zealots on the ground. He needs Zealots on the ground to deal with the Goliaths, or he needs Templar. And really, it's a question of who can bait who into who. If Light is not successful in forcing Lucifer to bring his carriers to him and his Goliath forces, then Lucifer is going to be able to basically dance up and down Light's forces. He's just going to be able to attack those Goliaths at will. Really, what Light has to do is create targets of opportunity, which looks like he's already prepared to do by staking out, just looking at these various expansion locations, and force basically the carriers to come to him. And as you see those mines out, that's the best behavior. You need to get that out early, because if you don't, that's really when it starts to hurt you versus carriers. Really, I think the other X factor is science vessels. If you can get science vessels and EMP, that definitely increases the effectiveness against carriers tenfold. They cost a lot of gas, they are very vulnerable, but if you can sneak in, get an EMP off, drop all the carrier shields, that just makes your Goliaths that much more deadly. In the meantime, Lucifer realizes that there are mines all over the place. He realizes that Light is just trying to get that spot. He's staking out the expansions, so he in the meantime is expanded to that 3 o'clock, that basically a little boosted out 3 o'clock position right there. In the meantime, Light is going for that expansion, knowing that he needs to deprive Lucifer of res at this point, and basically claim res of his own if he's going to be able to fight off this carrier force. Really, this is turning into a res battle, a large Goliath force for Light. Light looks like he has about 8 factories out. He's going to be upgrading those armies. Look like a second army is out, and it does look like he's going to have a science vessel out. I really like that maneuver. I do not understand why more Terran do not go science vessels. EMP is so effective against Protoss forces, especially when they have Templar, and especially when they go carriers, because you can just zap all the shields. If you aim it right, get not just the shields of the carriers, but also take all the energy out of the Templar, so you're not getting your Goliath Psystormed, and really that's just that big an advantage. In the meantime, Lucifer managing to sneak by. He's going to go for that 12 o'clock, or that upper left-hand corner, 11 o'clock base, catching those SCVs en route. He's able to kill a couple, but he's pulling back just because there's that large Goliath force and several tanks on that ridge. He's going to loop around, pull back. He has managed to sneak through a Zealot and a Dragoon. He's able to hit the gas a little bit, able to stop a little bit of production there. But my guess is Light is easily going to be able to take that back. But Light's going to excuse me, going to rely on these ridges and that fog of war spot. And it looks like Lucifer, instead of pressing that attack forward, he's going to let his carriers, his carrier fleet, get fully operational, and then he's going to push in with these forces using the carriers as cover. It looks like he's putting down cannons. He doesn't want that expansion dropped. In the meantime, Light being very aggressive here, that's been spotted by that observer, but he's expanded to the lower right-hand corner. Light, in the meantime, letting that drop that science vessel out a little too far. I would expect him to pull that back and repair it. Science vessel's very valuable, cost a lot of gas. I think he might be expecting a shift to Dark Templar here as well, so he's not. I know he saw the starport, but he's not behaving as though, aside from the massive Goliath force, he's got that science vessel out. He's acting as though he's expecting Dark Templar. In the meantime, excellent defensive matrix, a large battle there. It takes out all the zealots. Excellent micro by Light, taking out all those zealots as they came down the ramp. That's going to pull the Dragoons back just because there's significant tank force. The carrier is now up. They're going to go for that southern expansion. Really, that was loses that dropship. That's costly. Had several units in it. That was really, I guess that was a bait maneuver, brilliant bait maneuver by Light, if that's what it was, because he's going to go for that 3 o'clock expansion of Lucifer. Lucifer only has 3 expansions up. Light is staked everything else out, even though he's losing that lower right lower right expansion. He's basically going to be able to do some damage to that 3 o'clock unprotected expansion that's a little outside the base range. In the meantime, Lucifer, realizing he's most likely going to lose this, or at least have some economical damage here, he's going for that 12 o'clock expansion, but that's going to be difficult to defend simply because his carriers are blocked back by the Goliaths. And this is what I was talking about earlier, a brilliant maneuver by Light. He's forcing those carriers to come and engage him. As long as he does that, he will be successful against these carriers.